of presidential candidates day after Alan Kyerematen withdrew from the November 4 race. Meanwhile, founding member of the NPP, Dr. Nyaho Tamaklo, says Alan Kyerematen has been stabbed in the back by President Akufo-Addo and the NPP. Also coming up, former President John Dramani Mahama urges Guineans to take advantage of upcoming limited voter registration exercise.
The upcoming limited voter registration exercise by the Electoral Commission is therefore an opportunity to start the process towards making your voices heard.
We'll bring you some business news as total value of loans registered by banks in the second quarter of 2023 hit 5.9 billion cedis. We'll bring you some international news as the entire Nigerian population wait for the results of the court hearing on the Nigerian poll challenge. Welcome to the program. We're starting the afternoon with news in politics as the balloting of the November 4 NPP primaries is expected to take place on September 6. With Alan Kyerematen's withdrawal, 4 persons are left in the race. The Vice President, Dr. Bawumia, Asante Central MP Kennedy Agyapong, former Greek Minister, Dr. Owusu Akoto, and former MP for Mampon, Francis Dynamo. Former Trade Minister Alan Kyerematen on Tuesday indicated he was withdrawing from the New Patriotic Party presidential race slated for November 4. Kyerematen, who came in 3rd place in the party's August 26 Special Delegates Congress, said he opted out of the race following the intimidation of agents. In a statement dated September 5, 2023, Alan Kyerematen said the race seems to be deliberately skewed in favor of one candidate. Now, still on the fallout of the withdrawal of Alan Kyerematen from the NPP flag bearer race, statesman and founding member of the NPP, Dr. Nyaho Tamaklo, says Alan Kyerematen has been stabbed in the back by President Akufo-Addo and the NPP. He asserts that the unexpected withdrawal has dealt a significant blow to the NPP, leaving it in a weak position.
Very, very unfortunate for this to have happened to the party at this time. Alan, to me, has been stabbed in the back by the MP, and that is very sad. Because when I look at those who want to be president of the country at the moment, he's the only one who stands tall among them. He's the only one I believe strongly. A lot of people, if he intends running as an independent candidate, would definitely like to try him. Now, why do I say the party has been destroyed? This party has always got a succession plan, and that brings the point about Alan being stabbed in the back. And it is unfortunate that is being done by my friend Nana Akufo-Addo. Alan leaving the group at this time has weakened the democratic pillars of the party. And if we are not careful, the party will be totally destroyed, and we shall find ourselves back in 1978, 1979.
Well, the abrupt withdrawal of Alan Kyerematen from the November 4 presidential primaries of the ruling NPP continues to trigger varied public reactions. Now, with this and his home region being the Ashanti region, the stronghold of the party, William Evans Inkum has been monitoring events since Alan's withdrawal and what have been the general mood of the Kumasi population. Evans, thank you so much for joining us. Good afternoon to you. Has any of the regional executives reacted to this development yet?
Well, absolutely. I mean, the former Ashanti regional chairman of the party, Robert Yao Amankwa, has been reacting to this particular development, and he believes that the position of the current crop of regional executives did also not help matters as far as the Ashanti region is concerned, might have contributed to Alan's decision. Let's listen to what Yao Amankwa said, then I'm going to do the translation.
Evans, we'll get to that sound clip shortly, but in your interaction with other members, other people in the Ashanti region, as you test their pulse, how are they reacting to this news of the withdrawal of Alan Kyerematen from the NPP flag bearer race in the region?
Well, there's mixed reaction as far as the Ashanti region is concerned. Some are saying that if Alan should split from the party, which we are yet to hear from him because of that coded line that he gave in his statement, then they will also be ready to support his cause. But it's not the first time something like this happened in the party, and they even go back to 1979 during the days of Victor Owusu and Pauli or William Oforiatta. And of course, the current president is Excellent Nana Addo Dankwa Akufo-Addo, who was then the deputy secretary of that particular party. Splitting to form the United National Convention. So to them, it is not new, but if that is going to happen, and it will, in fact, change the narrative as far as the current political discourse is concerned, then they will be ready. But the other people also believe that, well, it is all about the mother party, the NPP, and that interest must solely be protected. And so he should stay with the party and also help build a very robust party. Then the other side of the divide also believe that, well, the spirit of the party has spoken, so it is about Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia, so be it. This is how they express themselves.
A bit resilient within the sphere of opposition, where he ought to have been vociferous enough to have come out boldly from time to time to state his position as it is, or as it were, and not be overly diplomatic.
Right, Evan, so that was Professor Samuel Odugyemfi speaking there. In relation to the relevance and the weight of Alan Kyerematen in the NPP, particularly in the Ashanti region, you were talking to us about the comments made by one executive in the region.
Well, absolutely. That has to do with the Ashanti regional chairman of the party, whose admiration for one of the aspirants hasn't been hidden. Overtly, he has stated his position even before they will even pick nomination, or even before, specifically Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia will even publicly announce his decision to contest for the flag bearership position of the NPP back at Efijase Asokore. That particular statement was made, and remember, the chief scribe of the party, Justin Frimpong-Kodua, came and boldly to issue a statement, because there was going to be an array of, several public pronouncements coming from the structure of the party, which many deemed wasn't fair, especially protecting the sanctity of the primaries. And this is something that, the former chairman of the party in the Ashanti region, who was also the regional chairman during the time of former President John Adjei Kufuor. Remember, in 2007, there was a situation like this where the then late Vice President Dr. Ali Mahama was also contesting similar things that we are happening here. Now, the big question is, why is it that during Kufuor's administration, there wasn't any kind of situation like what we are seeing now? These are the sentiments of the people, and exactly what the former regional chairman of the party, Robert Yao Amankwa, also stated. So I don't know if that particular tape is ready. Maybe you want to listen to it.
Right. Evans, thank you. We'll take a listen to it, and then we'll translate what the man said.
Party executives are say adwuma yekoya omo ye referees nom ne ade ni nyina no omo nyina ko gina enipa ba ko achi na ade a awerɛho wom pa ne se ansa na ye beto aba no obi kan no radio so TV so say Ashanti region de ye wie okra ye discover ma omo na omo akoto aba na ye koto aba no so no sɛnea ɛsi da abɔnten nyame na meka sɛnea ɛsi da abɔnten a obiara ka sɛ sikasɛm ɛbaeɛ nti na Ashanti region aba no ɛbaa saa nam ne adeɛ no na akɔyɛ awerɛho ne animguasesɛm paa.
Right, Evans, briefly, in a few seconds, wrap up what the man was trying to say in English.
Well, so what he said was that there were allegations that in the Ashanti region, which is a very strategic region for the ruling NPP or the axe of the ruling party, the only way one can at least win majority of the delegates was to at least, buy them, or buy their votes. And he heard people say that, across the various airways. And he believed that that might have contributed to the current situation. If that was the case, then it's very, very unpalatable politically.
William Evans Inkum, thank you so much. Evans Inkum is Ashanti regional correspondent there. We're still staying with the camp of the New Patriotic Party because the balloting for the November 4 NPP primaries is expected to take place today. Duke Mensah Opoku is joining for some details on the balloting for the November 4 presidential primaries of the New Patriotic Party. Duke, thank you so much for joining us on the program. Good afternoon to you. You've been at the party headquarters. What is happening there?
Where, as we speak, the party, the electoral committee of the party, is locked up in a meeting with the 4 remaining aspirants who are still in the race to become the leader, the flag bearer of the New Patriotic Party going into the 2024 election. All the persons who matter, as far as the race is concerned, we are told are here. They are in that meeting. Personally, I have seen spokesperson for the Electoral Commission, Alexander Afenyo-Markin, MP for Efutu and Deputy Majority Leader. He's just walked into the meeting. We are told Professor Michael Kwe, who's chairman of the committee, is in there. Director of Elections and Research, Evans Nemako, is also in there. We are told for the aspirants, Dr. Usuefri Akoto is in that meeting, as well as Kennedy Ohine Japan is in that meeting. We know that the representative of Francis Adainimo is in that meeting, and we're told that the vice president's representatives are also in that meeting. So that meeting is being held to sort of review what has gone on so far, and then also look into the future. Before the balloting, which we're told was scheduled for 12 o'clock, that's midday. It's past midday, but we have no indication as to when it is taking place. So we've pitched camp here, and we're waiting for what will transpire or what will happen before the balloting, when the balloting starts. Obviously, these are just 4 people remaining in the race. Yesterday with Alan Chirmating on Tuesday, Alan Chirmating deciding to bow out of the race, decided to withdraw from the race. There are 4 remaining aspirants, and they will know their fate today in relation to where they will be or where they will place on the ballot. Of course, ballot numbers and its places on the ballot paper and its significance and its interpretation, are things that politicians always try to add a bite or add some spice to it when it comes to their political messaging and their campaigning. So we don't know where each of the aspirants will place and what kind of messaging would be put around it. But I've also been speaking to the Kennedy Japan team about whether they are also preparing or whether they would also, looking at the fact that one of the planks on which Alan decided to withdraw from the race was about the incidences of intimidation, as they called it, and they also complained about that with the candidate himself, Kennedy Japan, promising a showdown. That's if this was any reason for them also to contemplate withdrawing from the race. I was told by a lawyer of Japan, who is a key member of the Kennedy Japan campaign team, that they are not withdrawing, they are going all out, they are going full haul, and they are in this race to win. He's in that meeting today. So by the time the meeting ends, the balloting process ends, we will know how each of the candidates will place or how they will be arranged, their positions on the ballot that will be used for the voting come November 4th, 2023. So it's roughly about a month, close to 2 months away, but that process will take place today, and I'm sure after that, the candidates will go back to the electioneering.
Well, thank you so much for those updates from the NPP headquarters, where the former flag bearer aspirant of the NPP, Alan Kyerematen, is not in that meeting because the man withdrew from the race the eve of the balloting day. Let's take a look at this. Alan Kyerematen in the NPP. He was born to Dr. Alexander Tatyao Kyerematen and Victoria Kyerematen, both parents from the Ashanti region. Now, this is Alan Kyerematen, the corporate executive, diplomat, and an international public servant in the NPP. He is a founding member of the Young Executive Forum. Now, this Young Executive Forum is a political lobby group of professionals and business executives committed to the promotion of the welfare of the NPP. He was, in fact, chairman of that group in 1992. Then between 2001 to 2003, he was Ghana's ambassador to the USA under President Kufuor's administration. Then in 2003, he was a cabinet member and he was also head of the Presidential Special Initiative, remember the PSI. He was a cabinet minister when he was Minister for Trade and Industry. In 2007, that was when he first attempted officially the NPP flag bearer slot. He was unsuccessful. He came as a runner-up to President Kufuor, and Alan Kyerematen polled some 32% in 2007. After that election, he will reportedly resign from the party. Now, subsequent to that, he was reportedly impressed upon to return to the party. Now, that is in dispute because some members of his camp say that he never resigned from the party. Fast forward, in 2010, he made another attempt at the flag bearer slot of the NPP, where he also came up as a runner-up when he polled 19.91%. That happened in 2010. We'll be getting some other parts of his life in the NPP. For instance, we're talking about the attempt he made again in 2014, where he attempted the NPP flag bearer slot that had a super delegates congress held. And in the Super Delegate Congress, he polled 9.87%. And then in the main primaries in 2014, he polled only 4.75%. That also saw the election of President Nana Addo Dankwa Akufo-Addo. Fast forward, in January 2023, on January 5, he resigned as a Trade and Industry Minister to contest to become flag bearer of the NPP going into the 2024 election. That decision was officially made known on January 20, 2023, when he officially declared his intent to want to be flag bearer of the NPP. Then on June 12, 2023, that was when he filed his nomination to contest the election. On August 26, 2023, the NPP held Super Delegates Congress, where Alan Kyerematen came third after Kennedy Japan and the winner, Dr. Bawumia. In the Super Delegates Conference, he polled 10.29%. Then yesterday, September 5, 2023, the big news, Alan Kyerematen withdraws from the flag bearer race of the New Patriotic Party. This is the political history, briefly, of Alan Kojo Kyerematen in the NPP, talking about his relevance. We'll be delving more on this in a subsequent bulletins. But to some other subjects this afternoon, we're talking about the limited voter registration, where we understand the 2024 flag bearer of the National Democratic Congress, John Dramani Mahama, is urging all officers and members of the party to focus on the upcoming limited voter registration. Now, the Electoral Commission has announced the registration of persons onto the voter register in a limited exercise at all the district offices of the Commission. The 2024 flag bearer of the NDC, John Mahama, spoke earlier in a televised address.
Registering and acquiring a voter ID card to vote in the December 2024 presidential and parliamentary elections is not just a basic civic duty, it is an obligation. As a people, our starting point to effect real change in our country is to register and vote. You and I have a collective responsibility to use our votes wisely to hold our leaders accountable and demand the change we desperately need. It is the surest way to secure our democracy. As young people, we must hold immense power in our hands. The upcoming limited voter registration exercise by the Electoral Commission is therefore an opportunity to start the process towards making your voices heard and shaping the future of our dear country, Ghana. Your vote in 2024 will symbolize your desire for a better Ghana, a determination to overcome the challenges we face, and your commitment to help build the Ghana we want together. A Ghana that guarantees you, your children, your siblings, and our unborn generations a brighter, sustainable future with well-paying jobs. But that will only happen when you acquire a voter's ID card and cast your vote for the NDC in that crucial election on December 7th, 2024.
Some other subjects this afternoon, and the Paramount Chief of Mampong Traditional Council, Desibrose Bunsu II, has warned the government not to follow in the footsteps of the Europeans and Americans in legalizing same-sex marriage. Speaking at the 32nd Christ of Hinds African Human Rights Moot Court competition in Kumasi, the second-in-command of the Asanteman Traditional Council entreated Parliament to ensure that the anti-LGBTQ+ bill is passed to maintain the sanctity of the country's culture.
We should sit here, cut our own culture. Me, sit here, because of that, I've done what? I've acquired degrees in the European universities, like, those here we've established. I should throw away our culture we've inherited from time immemorial. Because of what? Dollars over there. I permit a man to kiss a man, and a man to kiss a man, and a woman to kiss a man. Please, I don't need to talk about it over here. We are waiting for you, our younger ones. You start to popularity. When you take that topic in your moot of court, for heaven's sake, don't say that Uganda must be ostracized just because they were bold to have passed a bill into law. Ghana, we have ours in parliament. And lo betides those parliamentarians, if they can about it, and emulate what is happening in America. They'll come and meet us in our respective kingdoms.
Meanwhile, the Commission for Human Rights and Administrative Justice, SHRAJ, expects Parliament to engage with all stakeholders in Ghana before proceeding with passage of the proposed anti-LGBTQ bill.
The Commission on Human Rights and Administrative Justice, as part of its contribution to the LGBT debate which ensued as a result of the consideration of the proper human sexual rights and Ghanaian family values bill, submitted a memorandum to Parliament and strongly recommended to the House to embark on extensive engagement with all stakeholders, including the LGBT community, to arrive at outcomes that secures the dignity of everyone. SHRAJ believes that it is when we listen to one another as Africans that we can agree to uphold the fundamental rights of our brothers and sisters who may not necessarily look like the majority of the population.
Lawmakers in Ghana have been debating the bill since August 2021 that will criminalize same-sex relations, transgender, and advocates of LGBTQ rights.
To another subject that is also on the hearts of many, the La General Hospital. Well, the Health Minister, Kweku Agyeman-Manu, maintains work will soon start on the abandoned La General Hospital redevelopment project. The project, which is yet to materialize after years of controversy surrounding its status being of concern to residents. At a media briefing on progress made by the ministry in ensuring a healthy population, the minister said new funds have been obtained for the project as well as the Shama one to start soon.
La and Shama, we got funding. Unfortunately, something happened. We couldn't continue that way, and we got it stuck there. If you can show us a slide for La, for example, we started working seriously on La, and we still have contractors' material sitting on site. We are now shifting the source of funding. We virtually completed negotiations. We are getting reinforced designs and things like that. And soon, that is why I said, La will come back on stream. This is where we go to. And the contractor is even still on site. Only that funds flow has made it slow down a little bit. But we are shifting the source of funding, and soon some good work will commence in La. And that will relieve me a lot from the criticisms that I've faced for pulling down La. That was virtually collapsing itself.
You're watching Midday Live on TV3. My name is Noble Crosby, and we're also live on all our social media platforms at TV3 Ghana Plus on DSTV channel 279. To some other stories this afternoon, and African leaders have set a 2025 target to establish a new financing architecture that is responsive to the needs of the continent, including debt restructuring and relief. The target, which is a part of the Nairobi Declaration, seeks to change the dynamics in the ability of countries to access credit, which is more often than not associated with high interest rates. Here is Kenyan President William Ruto.
We demand a fair playing ground for our countries to access the investment needed to unlock the potential and translate it into opportunities. We further demand a just multilateral development finance architecture to liberate our economies from odious debt and onerous barriers to necessary financial resources. We are clear in our minds and hearts that the international community must walk with us in this journey into a future of prosperity and security in an ecologically balanced, thriving planet. We are therefore determined to have difficult conversations, take hard decisions, and make uncomfortable changes to set international consensus on an Afrocentric and globally inclusive path into an African future.
You're watching Midday Live on TV3. We're going for a quick break. We're back with more stories. Please stay with us.
We're going to demonstrate to you the superior properties of Flamingo paint as compared to other paint brands on the market. We take equal quantities of Flamingo paint and this ordinary paint. We then dilute them with water. And now let the test begin. The gentleman on the left is going to apply the ordinary paint, and the gentleman on my right will use the Flamingo superior paint. As you can clearly see, Flamingo has the obvious better hiding. Furthermore, Flamingo has painted a much larger area. You know, one bucket of Flamingo paint is equal to several buckets of any other paint brand on the market. Flamingo paint is made with superior formulation to give superior durability, superior hiding, superior coverage. Flamingo paint, simply superior.
Jackpot of the week. Place bets and hit the jackpot. Log into the 1xBet account. Click on the Take Part button. Place bet and take part in the jackpot draw. Give your luck a chance. Use promo code to get a bonus on your first deposit.
This advertisement has been vetted and approved by the Gaming Commission of Ghana. Bet responsibly, not for persons below 18 years. Gambling can be addictive.
Everybody knows Acrobato. And if you know Acrobato, it means you know M-Punch Homeopathic Clinic. M-Punch Homeopathic Clinic is my pillar. Let's hear what others are saying about M-Punch Homeopathic Clinic. Who will be careful M-Punch one?
Chesena me ankasa me period na se problems wom ntina ma wo ho idea ma me papa chesena nya asem ketewa na me coin point no mo hwe me mogam no mo hwe bibia na so mo meduro me fire no ene ma won kra mienu kofro kwa na mkwan mu a eba and everything yourself
me ma me no adwodwo eda ho a wontumi nante ene ne ko end point o mama no nura ene ne ho idea watimi asori anante.
That's end point for you of Acrobato. Hello hey ohwehwe what che okay a free bra wo di end point wa dance am me call you no
me Joseph Semana Nkoye, and Pastor my Emranian, and a Magina Sabema. Now, I'm going to be here for the one in Jarisa.
You heard everything. I have secret. M-Punch is my secret. M-Punch Homeopathic Clinic. I'm free.
When the sun rises, there is hope. While this hope lingers on, the citizens look up to the government, the economy, the national development agenda, and everything in between.
On Ghana Tonight, it's our utmost priority to bring you insightful conversations on the economy, break down the biggest issues while setting the agenda for transformation and national development. The big and important stories are treated from the human interest angle, while the facts and the figures are painted with precision. So now, let's cut the convention and start the conversation here on Ghana Tonight. I am your host, Alfred Okanse.
Ghana Tonight shows Monday to Friday at 10 p.m. on TV3.
Brought to you by Flamingo Paint. Superior durability, superior hiding, superior coverage, simply superior.
The age-old rivalry that senior high schools engage in is still present within alumni. The battle for bragging rights to a particular endeavor remains even after school. If your school can cook, it means your school is here. If your school can boast of good culinary masterminds, this right here is the perfect platform to showcase that skill set. Alumni have met and they have chosen representatives to take up the task of preparing extraordinary dishes to bring victory to their respective schools.
Tell me what you're cooking.
Week in, week out, these schools will mount these workstations in a bid to buy your nutritional affinity to them. Ladies and gentlemen, prepare your taste buds and fasten your aprons. These culinary experts are set to battle for the enviable crown of being tagged Lords of the Kitchen. This is Kitchen Wars Season 2.
Kitchen Wars Season 2, Sundays at 5 p.m. on TV3. Don't miss it.
Sponsored by Gino Tomato Mix.
And Napa Foods. Say Napa. Enye Ono Soko.
PGL.
I'm a hero from zero up to hero.
Many with great voices have taken their chance on the biggest music reality show on screen.
Rap na kasa be my career.
Some stood out with their lyrical abilities and style. Mentor is back. The search is on. Who becomes the next winner? Mentor, the world awaits you.
Senator Dr. Rasha Kelej and creator of our Africa TV show.
All Africa will be part of our show.
The CEO of MAC Foundation.
We want to support girls' education. No to infertility stigma, yes to girls' education. We want to stop gender-based violence for stop. Number of child marriage will double by 2050.
Our Africa by MEC Foundation shows Saturdays at 2:30 p.m. and repeats on Mondays at 10:30 a.m. on TV.
Welcome back to the broadcast. Let's get some business news from Michael Obudu. Over to you, Michael.
Thank you very much. Good afternoon. Welcome to the business segment here on Midday Live. My name is Michael Obudu, and straight into our first story. As in the second quarter of 2023, banks and specialized deposit-taking institutions granted secured loans of 5.9 billion cedis in value. This marks a significant growth of 15.5% compared to the previous year. The following 3 Business News Desk report has more. According to the second quarter collateral registry report by the Bank of Ghana, banks alone were responsible for 4.9 billion cedis of these secured loans, indicating a 14.8% increase compared to the same period in 2022. The bank's share of secured loans were 83.7% of the total loans. On the other hand, the specialized deposit-taking institutions recorded a total amount of 971.1 million cedis of secured loans, representing a share of 16.5% and an increase of 19.1% from the 815 million cedis recorded for the same period in 2022. Banks registered the largest share of the total value of secured loans in the second quarter with 83.7%. Meanwhile, the total number of collateral registrations recorded for the second quarter of 2023 was 50,695. This is compared to 43,861 registrations in the same quarter of 2022, representing 15.6% year-on-year growth. The city is expected to maintain a consistent trading pattern this week due to measures taken by the Bank of Ghana to alleviate pressures on the local currency. Last week, the city faced renewed challenges despite the central bank's efforts to enhance foreign exchange liquidity. The following 3 Business News Desk report has the rest of the story.
The local currency last week initially opened at a mid-rate of 11 cedis 50 pesos per dollar. It maintained a trading pace but experienced a 0.65% decline on the retail market week on week. It further depreciated by 0.17% and 0.6% week on week against the pound and euro respectively. During the 35th Forex auction for bulk oil distribution companies, the central bank allocated $20 million at a 30-day forward rate of 11 cedis 42 pesos, representing a 100 basis points increase from the previous auction. Additionally, the Bank of Ghana injected 11.5 million cedis into the spot market to alleviate demand pressures. Despite these interventions, the cedi struggled to maintain stability due to persistent local demand. Since January 2023, the cedi has depreciated by approximately 11.4% against the US dollar on the retail market and 22.1% on the interbank market.
Labour expert Austin Game is proposing companies should focus on increasing basic salaries and reduce allowances of employees to improve the pensions benefits of workers. This follows proposals from the Social Security and National Insurance Trust (SNIT) and some stakeholders in the pensions industry for the contributions to be increased to make the scheme sustainable. A recent actuarial valuation by SNIT recommended Ghana's Social Security contributions should be raised as the scheme could be under threat in the next 10 years if measures are not taken to review the rate of contributions. However, Labour analyst Austin Game believes that 2 things need to be addressed to boost pensions benefits in the country. He stated that inefficiencies in the management of SNIT contributions and the current allowances system in salary structures are part of the causes of poor pensions paid to Ghanaians.
The contribution level of working people as far as pension is concerned is enough. It is a mismanagement of it that should be taken a close look at. There is really no need for an upward of the percentage. All should be done is to manage the pension scheme well.
On the issue of raising the retirement age, Mr. Game appears to have a contrary opinion.
We don't need to review it. We have a problem of employment and unemployment on our hands. People have come out from school, even nurses have come out from school. In the midst of people, the exodus, still we cannot place them. The people who are old want a review of the age. 70 before they retire, may they retire now and leave the office for the young people to get jobs. If you are very, very capable, you have an extraordinary gift and knowledge and the potential to help the nation, you don't need to be a work-for-life person before you contribute. Anybody who thinks that he has the capacity to contribute as a mega star in this country should contribute from his corner. and not necessarily on a government payroll.
The Ghana Revenue Authority, GRA, says it is unrelenting in its efforts to ensure businesses comply with the issuance of VAT in their operations. The authority has been on an enforcement exercise since the introduction of its electronic value-added tax (EVAT) system. Commissioner General of the GRA, Dr. Amishadai Owusu-Amwa, says his outfit will continue to ensure compliance in order to raise the needed revenue for government.
I think that is something that I want to take the opportunity to let Ghanaians know that we'll continue consistently. Since we started the exercise last year, we have seen that early part of the first quarter was 92%. In June, July, we were trying to review the process. As we were reviewing the process and we're not going out, we saw the numbers going down. And we have resumed again. And want to let everyone who sells a service or provide a service or any of that, we have what we call mystery shoppers or test purchases. In other words, we have given monies to people like you who are coming to their shops, who are coming to their restaurants, who are coming to their hotels. And if you issue a receipt that is not a VAT receipt, in the next moment or in the next day, you will see people coming to your shop. So let all Ghanaians know that the next customer who will enter your shop may be a mystery purchaser or a test purchaser. And it is important that we are all become compliant so that we will get the revenues for our nation.
Well, that will be all for the business segment here on Midday Live. For more business stories, our website 3news.com is there for you. My name is Michael Obodu. Thank you for watching. As always, please stay safe. Up next, the sports.
When it comes to the world of sports, what does complete mean to you?
When my team scores at the end of a 30-plus passing sequence, just like Pep Guardiola style.
When someone beats the buzzer with a shot from the logo, like Steph Curry.
Dominating opponents and punching my waist to a knockout, like Africa's greatest boxer, Azuma Nelson.
Running so fast that I can afford to celebrate midway through a 100-meter race and smash the world record like Usain Bolt.
Hold up. What makes all of these sports complete is the screen. This is where you get access to all the extensive highlights, analysis, and insights.
So do join us every Sunday at 6 p.m. live on 3FM 92.7 as we serve you the best sports buffet and most satisfying in the sports world. The 3 Sports team will come together to review, preview, and analyze the latest in the sports world here on Sports Ultras.
It wasn't always this easy. When I was 26, I got my first chance to perform a surgery.
Can I have a selfie? Thank you so much.
So I was holding the scalpel. My hands were trembling.
Excuse me, ma'am. Can I have your autograph, please? Sorry, sir.
Yes, go on.
Well then, as soon as the senior surgeon entered the OT, Yes, Dr. Matur. I'll be there in 30 minutes. It's an important surgery. Rain check?
Sure.
They are in love, but will they be able to adjust?
Eternal Love shows Tuesdays to Fridays at 6 p.m. only on TV3.
Brought to you by Out Multi-Purpose Insecticide Spray and Quell.
The age-old rivalry that senior high schools engage in is still present within alumni. The battle for bragging rights to a particular endeavor remains even after school. If your school can cook, it means your school is here. If your school can boast of good culinary masterminds, this right here is the perfect platform to showcase that skill set. Alumni have met and they have chosen representatives to take up the task of preparing extraordinary dishes to bring victory to their respective schools.
Tell me what you're cooking.
Week in, week out, these schools will mount these workstations in a bid to buy your nutritional affinity to them. Ladies and gentlemen, prepare your taste buds and fasten your aprons. These culinary experts are set to battle for the enviable crown of being tagged Lords of the Kitchen. This is Kitchen Wars Season 2.
Kitchen Wars Season 2, Sundays at 5 p.m. on TV3. Don't miss it.
Sponsored by Gino Tomato Mix.
And Napa Foods. Say Napa. Enye Ono Soko.
PGL.
I'm a hero from zero up to hero.
Many with great voices have taken their chance on the biggest music reality show on screen.
Rap na kasa be my career.
Some stood out with their lyrical abilities and style. Mentor is back. The search is on. Who becomes the next winner? Mentor, the world awaits you.
Let's join Yao Sulabi for some sports news. Yao, over to you.
Thank you so much, Nobu. Let's head into the sports news this afternoon on Midday Live on TV3. And to our first story, an Accra High Court has adjourned the injunction motion filed by King Faisal against the Ghana Football Association for the second time, casting huge doubts on the GFA elections. Now, the court was expected to first hear the case on Wednesday, August 30, but that did not go as planned, as it was adjourned to September 6, 2023. But following the no-show of the judge, the case has been adjourned once again to September 19, 2023. The presidential elections was slated for September 27, 2023. On out some more stories, let's do a bit of Black Stars now, because they landed and trained in Kumasi earlier yesterday with an eye on the final AFCON 2023 qualifying game against the Central African Republic. Fans were denied entry into the Baba Yara Stadium to witness the Black Stars train, and this is what they had to say.
Actually, I'm very disappointed with what has happened today, because I was expecting they should allow the fans to troop into the stadium, have some small time, that's 15 minutes, then they play with the fans to get out.
This is not usual. Down when they have their training in Accra, it's open up to everyone. So coming down to Kumasi from Accra with the expectation that you're going to watch the guys train, I mean, it's very frustrating. So you got a lot of guys out here.
It's a blaster for everybody. To come and watch that first training is very glad to be happy for watching the last game. So I'm very, very sad.
Me buy many ajisenka me buy be blaster training, but me buy oma amaye kwan yenim ni ntia nti ye de ni hweka ye trying to D-Day na yaba na yabe hu ni ewo se de ye ka den kra na om say close doors you know more ye nti na ye hwe ni besie nyame yadomo.
Now, Arsenal forward Eddie Nketiah has revealed that he chose to represent England over Ghana because it is a natural career. The 24-year-old received his first ever senior call-up last weekend.
I think obviously both sides are obviously always an option. I think naturally coming through the academy at England, obviously you have that aspiration to play here. And like I said, once the call-up was there and the offer was on the table, it was really hard to turn down, and something which I felt was obviously the natural progression for myself at this stage, and I felt now was a good time to kind of make that step. So obviously I'm really happy to be here and proud to be here, like I said, and hopefully I can go on and help the team this week and get some caps.
Well, that's Eddie Nketiah there. Now to some local football, because with some few weeks to the resumption of the Ghana Premier League season, many clubs have sped up their preparations, and Oko United on Tuesday had their 4th preseason game at the Achimota School Park. 3 Sports' Franka Champong has more on this report.
After many years away from the Premier League, the Nkoko-based club has a chance to compete for a spot in the Ghanaian top flight competition after securing qualification to the Division 1 league last season. It's been over a decade since they last competed against the very best teams in Ghana, and this time the players are poised to achieve their goal this season.
We are training hard to come this game and make it simple as we did last season. So we are showing everybody that this season Oko is coming to Premier League.
I wish it will happen for us, so we are very prepared and we are ready to do it.
Head coach Prince Yao Owusu has a huge job on his hands, but is not worried about the pressure.
Me personally, it's normal for me. Why do I say that? Because I've been in the business for so long, and I know how the traditional clubs are. So we are coping with it. It's not that bad. We are handling it.
With just a few weeks to the start of the season, the club has also secured a deal with Turf, who will be providing the team with training equipment.
It's a long-term partnership, so I mean, as and when they need anything, we are there to support them.
Promotion to the Premier League would definitely be a step further in the club's history, and fans will be hoping they do qualify this time.
Well, that's from the camp of Oko United. Now, UK-based Ghanaian upcoming heavyweight boxer Seth Jima, known as Freezy McBones, has called upon Ghanaian authorities and individuals to invest in boxing nationwide. He emphasized that concentrating on boxing investments and activities solely in Accra deprives the country of untapped potential in other regions. This appeal underscores the importance of spreading support and resources for boxing development to harness the talent and passion for the sport.
I think it's very interesting, and I like the boys and the coaches as well. And I mean, every individual person here, everyone taking part. The boys are serious, good energy. You can tell, obviously, you've been here for a bit while. You can see the energy. There's a smile in everyone's face. So it tells you that we're going for something great. There's a lot. For example, if you look at Ghana, I think only Accra, we have something like this here in the Bokum Arena. If you go to Asante region, we don't have anything like that. Sunyani, we don't have nothing like that. Broha or the other region, we don't have anything like that. So, and I think if these kids are in London, they are in that boys' position, I think they will do something great, you know, for themselves. But it is what it is. I always have a chat with them individual. I tell them that, listen, keep doing what you're doing. There is always opportunity.
Well, that's Freezy McBones there. Freezy will be in Senegal with a chance of qualifying Ghana and representing the country at the Olympic Games in Paris next year. My name is Yao Fosulabin. That's all the sports. Noella Donko will be here with entertainment.
Noella Donko has the rest in entertainment news. Over to you.
Thank you so much, Crosby. Let's get into the details of some entertainment news here on Midday Live. My name is Noella Donko. Now, award-winning disc jockey Kofi Amwako, popularly known as DJ Veroski, says the blame game has been a major setback in our music space. Speaking exclusively to 3 Entertainment, he mentioned that Ghanaian DJs are doing their best and are not to blame.
King Kong. More often than not, Ghanaian DJs have been heavily criticized as being the cause of the low interest in Ghanaian music. Most people have argued that some DJs in Ghana put Nigerian songs on heavy rotation as compared to the Ghanaian songs. However, multiple award-winning disc jockey DJ Veroski thinks DJs are not to blame.
And I think it's very, 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 very false. Nightclubs and in the pubs and the events, and you hear a lot of Nigerian music, right? Simple question. There's no DJ on Apple Music, is there? Now, when you go on Apple Music, the first 20 songs are Nigerian songs. So, is it a DJ contributing to people listening to Nigerian music on Apple Music? I think the DJs, they are doing their part. The thing is, the reason why we are suffering is the blame game. Everybody's looking for who to blame, right? We all have to accept the fact that with the slack Like I always say, we are comfortable number 2. When we slack, we will lose them and we'll be number 3 or number 4. You get it? So
in recent times, comparisons between artists from Ghana and Nigeria have heavily dominated several conversations on both traditional and social media. Vairoski believes the odds are favoring the Nigerians, adding that all the energy should be channeled into promoting our own.
To say that what we do on radio with the comparison actually helps promote the Nigerians more. You get it? Like, because you are talking about them. Like, the person who doesn't even know that maybe Ashake has done something, watching you on TV now knows there's something like that. So you are helping promote them even more. So now let's come together and stop the comparison and stop saying we are playing more Nigerian music than Ghana music and just push our own. Like, just come together and push our own. I think with the comparison, it's not going to stop. Even in the Nigerian industry, there's Davido, Wizkid comparison every day. Like, it's part of our life.
Now to some more stories. It was the biggest gathering of everything beauty at the 2023 edition of Hips Africa, the Gold Edition. Now the 3-day event was packed with masterclasses, fashion shows, and a networking opportunity for all beauty brands.
Have you ever thought of a fair that is just about beauty, that brings different aspects of beauty together in one space? That is why we're here at the Hips Africa 2023. And this year, the theme is the Gold Edition, basically celebrating, the amazing CEOs working tirelessly to bring beauty to that point. And definitely, the kind of contribution that beauty makes to the economy and to the creative art space. And so today, if you're at home, if you're watching this, you might have missed the Hips Africa 2023, but we're definitely here to give you all the highlights. So let's go inside, speak to some vendors, and show you what you missed.
So when you hear of Kinky Matters, beyond our amazing products, please think of the story. Think that you are buying into a legacy. Think that you are buying into a continent, a country.
Over 100 beauty brands came together to showcase their products ranging from skincare, hair care, wigs, clothes, makeup, amongst others. The 3-day event was packed with live demos, competitions, runway shows, and masterclasses.
To cut too closely to the hairline, cut in front of it to leave some excess lace.
For many brands, it was a perfect opportunity to network and interact with their customers.
What do you make of such an event that bring so many aspects of beauty together? What do you make of it?
Aside the beauty and all, you actually get to meet a lot of big people, so you network, and then you learn from them as well.
Right.
Yes, so
it's so important to start initiatives like this. It helps to structure the industry, it helps to shine a light on the industry, and you get international exposure as well. We now have brands from London, from Nigeria, also parts of the beauty industry here to support and to grow. So it's seriously important. We saw initiatives like this, and we're just here to have fun as well and to connect with our customers. So it's
globally, the beauty industry is worth billions of dollars, and there's a need for governments and stakeholders to pay more attention to the sector. Gwenjima Ado is the CEO of Hair Center and the co-founder of Hips Africa.
It's to bring all the beauty stakeholders together to collaborate, to give them visibility, and of course to help us grow the industry as a whole. And when people join a moving train, you need to understand that they have so many high expectations. And every day we also see that more beauty companies are being birthed, and that inspires us to keep this consistent. Like I always say, it's easy for us to start businesses, but what is tough is sustaining what we start. And so we're always very inspired about the fact that the beauty industry stays consistent, and we have to be there to carry the vision.
Yeah. Well, that was our Lifestyle Wednesday feature from 3 Entertainment, and that's how we wrap up on the entertainment news segment here on Midday Live. My name is Noella Donko. I'll be handing over to Crosby now.
In international news, let's bring you some updates on the happenings in Nigeria as a court is ruling on a challenge to February's election result brought by its main opponent, and tension in Nigeria as judges present the election ruling. We'll bring you that in our subsequent bulletins. But that's how we wrap up on the bulletin here. My name is Noble Crosby, and thank you so much for watching the bulletin. But there's also more news on our website, 3news.com, if you log on. On behalf of the entire production team, thank you so much. Good afternoon to you. Bye-bye.